Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is Rob here with nerdnews.com. Last week, Google announced not one, but two new Nexus devices. And in the beginning, I was torn, but I'm here today to tell you which one you should buy and why. All right, guys, let's start off with the names. Google introduced two new Nexuses. Nexuses? Who knows? Two new Nexus devices. On one hand, you have the Nexus 5X, and on the other, you have the Nexus 6P. Now, the difference between the two is, of course, the Nexus 5X is a follow-up to 2013's Nexus model, the Nexus 5, which was made by LG, perhaps the most popular, if not one of the most popular Nexus devices ever. A lot of people love the design, the functionality, things like that. So the Nexus 5X is essentially a refresh. You have a 5.2-inch IPS display with full 1080p HD. You have a 12.3 megapixel camera on the back, 5 megapixels up front. You have the Snapdragon 808 processor sitting atop 2 gigs of RAM, and you have a hexacore processor in that one. One of my biggest complaints with the Nexus 5X is, and I understand that it's supposed to be the more budget friendly of the two because it starts off at $379. My biggest complaint with it is I appreciate the refresh, but it doesn't feel like enough. When the Nexus 5 first launched in 2013, it was still a smartphone that was very much ahead of its time, in addition to maintaining a really low price point. And with the Nexus 5X, it feels like they kind of gave you, I guess upper mid-range specs and a low price. That seems to be the only reason the 5X exists. On the other hand, the Nexus 6P, which is made by Huawei, has a lot higher design values and a little more of a premium look and feel to it. So the 5X is made with polycarbonate plastic, essentially. The 6P is aluminum and chamfered edges all the way around. So it would be similar to the Huawei Mate S phone, which just came out, got really rave reviews. On the Huawei model, you still have the same 12.3 megapixel main camera, but you have an 8 megapixel camera up front. You have an octa-core Snapdragon 810 processor in there. You have 32 gigs of internal storage to start off with, whereas the Nexus 5X, you start off with 16 gigs. 5.7-inch AMOLED HD display, so you're going to get a much crisper, much brighter experience. If you have a Nexus 6 right now, going into something like the Nexus 5X would be a bit of a step down, whereas the 6P would end up being a definite upgrade. Like I said, a more premium feel to it. And they actually shrunk the bezels down on the phone. So although the screen isn't much smaller than what you get on the Nexus 6, the phone is. So it'll be a lot more hand friendly. Rounding out the features on both of the phones, you have USB Type-C charging now. You have Bluetooth 4.0, and then you have a fingerprint reader on the back, which Google is dubbing Nexus Imprint. It's supposed to wake and unlock your phone in under a second, and fingerprint recognition is as fast as 600 milliseconds. So really, really fast, really responsive phone. So price points. The Nexus 5X starts at 16 gigs of storage for $379, or you can take the dump and drop another $50 and get yourself a 32 gig model for $429, and that is absolutely what I would suggest you do. On the other side of the spectrum, the Nexus 6P starts off at $499 for a 32 gig model. Then it goes up to $599 for the 64 gig, and then $650 for the 128 gig. So much more storage available as well. The phones are available for pre-order right now. If you can't tell by now, am definitely going to go for the Nexus 6P. Higher design quality, better processor, and more internal storage out the gate. I mean, you kind of can't say no to that one. But I'll tell you what, let me know which phone you're getting. At the end of this video, feel free to comment, like, rate, subscribe, comment, the whole shot. I think I said comment twice, but that's how important it is. Let us know which phone you're getting. Let me know which phone you're getting. I am Robbie Diesel. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will catch you guys down the road.